Casey, you're not tall though.
No, that'll be perfect. So I'll show you why. And there's different contacts that you use if someone's a lot taller than you. When you first practice this in the beginning, it's easiest to get someone that's about your height, or at least, or you should be pretty close. If you're trying to do it on someone that's 6 inches taller, it's pretty tough. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is let's go. Turn Facebook. Do you have something on underneath that?
We might need to switch, Cal.
Okay. And I'm just going to roll this up a little bit, if that's okay. All right, so the contact that I'm going to do for this, and I'll show you the hand placement for this. First, I'm going to have you stand with one foot slightly in front of the other, just like you're taking a step, so not a real big stride. Okay, so if she's got her left foot forward, I'm going to have my left foot forward. So she's in a little bit of a diagonal stance position, so I'm not straight in front of her, I'm a little bit off to a diagonal. So her left foot's forward, my left foot's forward. Okay? Now, the contact that I'm going to do, can you just hold this up for a second just so I can show you, is over her crests. Okay? Now, we looked at this a little bit when we were doing some of the pelvic girdle resistance. If I come in above her crest and compress down onto her crest, that's very uncomfortable. Okay, so the same contact that we were talking about back in the first day when we did pelvic anterior elevation. I'm going to come in and take up some soft tissue slack with the lateral aspect of my thumbs. So I'm going to come in here, take up some soft tissue slack, ulnarly deviate my hands, and lock onto her pelvis right here. Okay? If you just come in right here, it doesn't matter how thin someone is, you're going to compress soft tissue, and that's going to be very uncomfortable. So I'm going to come in again, up just at the level of her crest, take up some soft tissue slack, ulnarly deviate, and now I can hold on to her pelvis right here. Okay? So that's the contact with it. I'm going to really use my carpal ridge of my hands to provide my resistance. Okay? The direction of resistance that I'm going to give her is going to be, in that diagonal pattern, is going to be down and back. Okay, it's going to be down and back, so I'm going to be pushing, and you'll see when I show you the direction of my forearms, from here, down and back to the point just about an inch or two behind her back heel. Okay, you know, if we looked at the direction of the forearms, if I come in here and resist, I'm pushing her straight back. Okay, so if I need to get so that I'm pushing down and back, I need to get real close to her. Okay, so it's going to look like this. I come in here, I get my contact, and I've got to get right here. Okay? This is why you want to start with someone that you're about the same height as. I'll show you another grip that you can use if they're a lot taller than you. Okay? So if I'm right here, I ulnarly deviate my hands, I lock into her pelvis right here. Okay? Let's scoot over a little bit so you can hold on to the table if you need to for balance. You okay there? Alright? So again, I'm going to come in here. Here's my ulnar deviation. I'm going to lock right in here. Okay? So the direction really of my first or my second and third fingers is showing the direction that I'm going to be resisting against her. Okay, so like we did with all the other positions, the first thing we do is stabilization. So she's in a good standing position, she's in a stride stance, I'm in a stride stance. I've got to get up on my toes and get up above her right here, and all I want you to do is hold this position and don't let me move you. Ready? And just hold it. And as soon as I start to approximate and start to give some resistance, I feel her trunk kicks in right here. Okay, now I'm doing it so she holds on, but I'm not trying to push her way back like this to throw her off balance. I'm trying to give her some approximation with resistance down towards that right heel. So hold it here. And can you feel as soon as I come in there that your trunk engages and you're stabilizing? Okay? Okay? If I want to do the other side, so you go ahead and switch feet, put your right foot forward, then I'm going to switch and my right foot's forward. And I don't want it to be a real big stride. I usually will tell my patient, just like you're taking a step. Okay, so if that's your normal stride length, now I've got to get into this diagonal, okay, because I'm pushing towards the posterior aspect of this heel. So again, same contact, I come in, I ulnarly deviate, so my elbows have to come out, I'm up on my toes, and I'm pushing, so hold it here and don't let me move you. And I'm just leaning in and compressing into her, so she's stabilizing in this stance position. Okay? All right, I can also do the same type of resistance just to approximate, or just to get her to stay in a good position, so you don't have to hold right now, at her shoulder girdles. Okay? Not pushing her straight back, but for this one, I'm going to push her back and slightly up with some traction, because we know traction will get the trunk to engage a little bit more. So if she's here, her right foot is forward, my right foot's forward, same diagonal, Now I just want you to hold this position, and I'm going to slowly build some resistance. You can see her trunk engages and she starts to work to be able to hold this position. Okay? Now if I have a patient that's not in a real good alignment and I go to push and they're just toppling right over, I've got to change that. I can't. So let me just get you in a real bad posture, so like you're extended. I'm not going to push hard. But if I come in here and go to give her some resistance, so there's no way she can hold that. She's going to go right over. So I've got to get her in a pretty good standing position. We're not going to worry about doing any postural training right now. But if she's here, I can start to build some resistance, and she can work on stabilizing, and you can see her trunk is working right here. And I'm pushing back and up that way. Okay? So you can try the two different manual contacts. The main one we're going to work with for the rest of the time, though, is right here. So I want you to get this just above the waistline, ulnarly deviating so I can lock right into her crest. Okay? For a male pelvis, you'll have to be up a little bit higher, but you can do the same thing to lock right in here. Okay? And again, my resistance is down and back, so hold. And even if I'm a lot taller than the person I'm doing it on, I'm going to be up on my toes because it helps me to get the direction of my force. Okay? Going down and back. Think of the direction of your forearms as you're doing it. Okay? So if you were practicing with someone that there was a big height difference, you probably want to switch partners for this and get with someone that's about your same height.